Happy Halloween! And thank you for tuning in to what I like to call our spooktacular event, aka the history of death. The history of death is something that's very interesting to me because, well, frankly, death doesn't actually have that much to do with Halloween. The main thing I could find about death and Halloween being correlated is, that wasn't a word. Anyways, the one thing I could find in connection to Halloween and death was the rumored Irish college students who wanted treats from someone and threatened to leave cadavers on someone's porch. And since they didn't get their treats, either candy or alcohol, whichever one it was, history's a little hazy on that one, they actually did end up leaving a cadaver, aka a dead body, on someone's porch. And then everyone was like, yo, let's start giving kids candy for Halloween. And that's kind of a historical fact and rumor as well. There's a little bit. If you can't tell who I am Robert Pattinson from Twilight. Just kidding. Robert Pattinson from The Lighthouse. Great film. Horror film. Good times. Speaking of films, that's going to come back later. But for now, I just want to say, death is something that is so interesting to me. Because it's something that many Americans in English-speaking cultures fear. We here in America and all over Europe still fear it with a passion, even after hundreds of years of evolution giving us an extra 20 years. That's right, it's not 60 years anymore. It's a full-on 80 years life expectancy. We still fear it. So I'm offering you right here, right now, inevitable death. Yes, you can be a spooky, scary skeleton sending shivers up people's spines sooner rather than later. That's right, at age 88, when you pass away peacefully in your sleep, you can come back as a Force Ghost from Star Wars or a rock-hard bodybuilder. It's your choice, even a scary skeleton, doing whatever you want. And during the spooky seasons of Halloween, you can scare your bullies if they're still alive somehow, but odds are they're very old too. Unless kids bullied you, then they're probably still alive. So, right now, if you subscribe to Truemper's YouTube channel, I offer you the greatest package of all time. Whatever you want, whatever kind of ghost you want to be, once you die, your inevitable death, because with life comes death. What's interesting about death to me is you see it in every culture. Death is the one consistent thing that is going to follow every single human being, from the richest of the rich to the poorest of the poor. Unless you believe it's a crazy conspiracy theory, but I'm going to choose not to believe that. Anyways, it's one of those things where the only difference and discrepancies come in are how we perceive death. Some people fear it in many English-speaking cultures, others embrace it in a lot of Spanish-speaking cultures, then other cultures kind of have different beliefs with it, then you get into religion, and the whole thing's crazy. That's why the history of death is so interesting, and the first murder obviously being Cain and Abel, where Cain murders Abel, brother killing brother. The whole concept of it is scary, and that also kind of fits it into Halloween. The thing for me, though, with death is, while it is spooky and scary, many cultures welcome it. It is something that people sometimes even look forward to. They believe in rebirth, and that's what I'm choosing to believe in. I'll still maybe do history videos from time to time, the Jank podcast as well, especially with interviews. I got a lot more coming back, but there's just so much inconsistency on this channel, and it feels like every week I'm like, hey, I'm going to try, I don't tell you I'm going to try something new, but in my head I'm like, I want to do something new, but then I don't. But I think with my channel, and I've been seeing the subscribe, the views have been consistent, so shout out to you guys. It's always a consistent 1,000 to 2,000 views. Love you for that. But the subscriber count keeps going down. And on paper, in the books, it's a dying channel. So I figured I'd use this time of death and the dying channel approach to say, I want to try new things. I think I'm going to focus more on movie reviews, aka like the horror movie I mentioned, The Lighthouse, and other movies. I want to talk about new movies, old movies, review them, talk about them, because that's something I've always truly been passionate about. I love history, but I feel like my TikToks are all history. I love doing skits and comedy, but my Instagram Reels are all skits and comedy. I figured now is a good time to try something else I love, which is movie reviews. I used to do movie reviews on this channel, but I just stopped doing them. I think I'm going to focus more on that. You'll still get history on TikTok, and if you only follow me for history on YouTube, I totally understand if you leave. But I think I'm going to do more gaming stuff and movie reviews, and the Jank podcast is also going to be on here. Don't you worry about that. And I will still continue uploading weekly. Just depends on what it's going to be. Maybe 2 videos a week. Like this week, you got the Jank podcast and the history of death. Wow! But otherwise, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been hanging out and sticking around over these past almost 3 years on YouTube. I love you so much. I'll catch you on the flip. I usually say till next time. Maybe I'm changing that up. Who knows? Oh, also,